I maybe
Did you ever have fires?
Not in Kemp Hewitt.
Yeah.
But where we are now, sat here,
Yeah.
with sorters, they had 3 fires.
Yeah.
As I say, I was a young lad coming out of the cinema when it burnt them once, and it burnt them when I was grown up too.
Mm.
Yeah. And it burnt them before that, and only the inside burnt down. The shell was still standing.
Mm.
Still standing some of it today.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
So after you went, you worked. After Kemp and Hewitt, you worked for Blair's. Then you got fed up with that, and the work got less.
Mm.
So what did you do after that?
Well, after Blair,
Yeah.
well, I went then onto another driving firm.
Mm.
And then, in them days, you should leave work and get different jobs
Yes.
and all that. But there was plenty of work about.
Yes.
You could walk up the road and get 10 jobs. And I came back to Kemp and Hewitt for a short spell.
I was going to ask whether you worked in the woollen industry.
Yeah, I came back for a short spell. But then again, you could see how
How short was the spell? Was it the last time? Was that the last time you worked for
yeah,
them?
that was for about a year and a half.
Yes. And what did you do then? Same work?
Same work,
Yeah.
same type of work. And then
And what were they doing here? What were they doing in Kemp and Hewitt then?
well, they were doing a lot of tennis cloth for sports.
Because the army, that had all gone, all the
Yeah,
wartime business.
Yeah, that was gone then, the cloth.
Yeah.
And then they were turning out the West of England cloth then for your suits.
Yes.
Because it's the home of the West of England cloth.
Yes.
Kemp and Hewitt's
Well, this is high quality sort of cloth.
high quality stuff.
Higher
Like-
quality than the wartime stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was flannel. They used to turn out a lot of flannel. So,
Yes.
and stuff like that. And as I say, they turned out the West of England cloth, and of
Yeah.
course that was sold all over the world, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it went on, and as soon as Bob Hewitt sold out, he went abroad, wanted to sell out when the factory shut.
Mm.
That was it, finish.
But presumably he sold out because business wasn't doing so well.
Well, no, I know the reason why he sold out, but it would
Because he got a good price for the business, or
I think he would. He wanted to go abroad.
he'd had enough.
Well, it was a bit of a controversy, with him, and he moved off then to Singapore.
Yeah.
But Clark's was still running, Salters was still running,
Yes.
and they were still running on the parade, and Mackay's was still running.
Yeah.
But they all gradually shut down,
Yeah.
one by one.
Yeah.
And the cloth was being made then up in Gloucester, and I think that kept going the longest, I think.
Yeah. Around Stroud, that area.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But some people went from here up to Stroud.
Did
Because
they?
my cousin did, and she died up there, yeah.
Did many, do you think, go from here to Stroud?
No, because they had a lot of workers up there.
Yes.
It's a nice spot though where that factory was in Stroud.
Yes, nice area.
In the valley there.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
You talk about Captain Bob. He was a Hewitt, was he?
Yes.
Was there a Kemp?
Yes, Harry Kemp, yeah.
Yeah. What happened to him?
Well, he lived in Bath, but Harry was getting on,
Yeah.
And I don't think they had as much shares in the business as what
I
the
see.
Hewitts had.
Yes.
There was Bob Hewitt and his brother.
Yeah.
But when Bob sold, being the main shareholder, he lived
Mm.
on Trowcommon, their big house on Trowcommon.
Mm-hmm.
When he sold, of course the other two went with it then.
Mm.
So he was the biggest shareholder.
I see.
And when he sold out, that was it.
Yeah. Did you see much of him around the works?
Oh yeah, Captain Bob, yeah.
Mm.
I was going to have a pint with him at night
Yeah.
in the
It was a good relationship then,
in
was
George Hotel. Oh, he was all right to get on with old Bob,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
He was captain, I think, in 1948 more. That's
I
why,
see.
that's why they called him Captain Bob.
Yeah. But the people got on well with him. I mean, he
Oh,
had a good
yeah.
relationship with the workers.
Oh yeah, yeah. The girls used to call him Captain Bob,
Uh-huh.
and all that.
It was all quite informal.
And every year they used to have a sort of a party on the lawns up on Trowcommon for the girls up there years
At his
ago.
house.
Yeah.
You'd all go up and have a...
I've sort of tea party mornings in the afternoons years ago.
Yeah. What time of year was that?
In the summer.
In the summer.
Oh yeah. When
In
they
the
had
hot weather.
when they had their holidays, see,
Yeah.
they shut for a week.
What week would that be? Can you remember?
In the summer, in August week.
August week, yeah.
Yeah. And not only didn't they shut, Usher shut. Same time.
Uh-huh.
So the men went off and the women had their holiday. And usually all
So a lot of the husbands worked in ushers, and that were you suggesting, and the women worked in
in the cloth mills.
the
yeah.
cloth mills.
Well, in a cloth mill, you'd only see a dozen men,
Yes.
like the boilermen and all that, and the maintenance men, but all the rest were women.
Yeah. Even before the war.
Yes, even before the war.
So the war didn't make much difference.
Oh
to them.
no. Well, my mother started work at 14, look,
Yeah.
and she worked in Kemp Hewitt all her life until they shut, and she went to Clark's for a little while.
Yeah.
And all it was, I mean, the spinning, the weaving, and that, and the feeding.
Yeah.
The only wing men worked on was in the mill,
Mm.
because it was wet in there, and then warping, because you had the big warping bars, you know,
Yeah.
to put the cloth on.
Yeah.
And that's the only place the men used to work then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the women done the weaving, the quilly winding,
Were they mostly young women, or what?
young and old.
Were they mixed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them women were 60.
Yeah.
Some of them were 60 before. Well, they had to before they retired.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked there all their life, and I mean from 14 onwards they worked. Say
Well, they'd leave to have children, presumably,
they would leave and have children, back again.
and go back. Yeah.
Because their grandparents would look after
The gran would look after them, after the
yeah,
children.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, they would work. They'd, as I say, they kept going all through the war, before the war and after the war. My sister was in it. She lives at Westbury now, and she worked in Kemp Hewitt and Clark's.
Yeah. Was there rivalry between the mills?
I don't really think there was between the mills, because sometimes you'd get girls want to change, they'd leave one mill and go into another one and do the same work. And I think the money was near enough the same in all the mills, you know, because they all got together, the owners, and they knew what to.
One mill didn't have sort of more prestige than another, or anything. They were all the same.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go back in history, I expect you find the oldest mill was Kemp Hewitt. I don't know.
Yeah.
They used to have noticed outside the home of the West of England cloth. They used to say.
Yeah.
But they all made Clarkey and all that. You know.
Yeah.
They all had the same engines and the same spinning machines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same make of spinning machines was there, everything. And they're all maintained when they come in from Yorkshire by the people that come in from the engineers come from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
And they all kept the men to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I think Clark's never had a dye house, and Salter's never had a dye house, I don't think. And I don't think McKay's had a dye house. I think the only dye house was Kemp Hewitt's.
When it got bombed.
When it got bombed, you see.
Did they do the dyeing for other?
Yeah, I think do some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, when they couldn't dye their own, they had to send it away to be dyed.
Where did they send it, you know?
I don't know where they sent it, to tell you the truth.
Mm.
But it could be dyed in Yorkshire and sent down, see.
Yeah.
Because that was the centre of the wool industry then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yorkshire. And the cotton industry was
Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Yeah.
But they started, after the war when I came back, they started to mix material together.
Mm.
Like man-made fibres with wool.
Yes.
To make the finer suits, they did, you know. They used to call that doubling.
Yeah.
That was a doubling machine used to do that. Special machine for doubling it, mixing it together.
Yeah.
Because as man-made fibres come in, I think they put an end to the wool industry.
Mm. Where did that come from? From Gloucester? There was a place. The artificial fibre. Can you remember?
Well, I think that was more up in the north.
I see.
Man-made
Yeah.
fibre.
Yeah. And how was the cloth? Did that go by rail or by road, or do you know where it went?
What, the cloth that was finished in Joe? Well, it was usually collected by road, the cloth.
I see. The customer collected it in general.
Oh yes, the cloth. A lot of it was sold around here because you had a lot of cloth agents in Trowbridge then, like colliers and places like that. Used to buy the cloths and sell them, you see.
It was all middlemen.
Yeah.
Mm.
They bought the output and then distributed it around.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the West of England cloth, it was bought for overseas, because they used to buy it direct from the factory, the overseas people would.
Yeah.
A lot of it was sent to London, the big shops in London. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever work weekends?
No, never worked weekends at all.
They didn't do overtime and didn't work Saturdays or Sundays?
No, you
Not
might
even
work,
in the war?
You might work Saturday.
Ah. Mm.
You might work Saturday.
Mm.
But I mean, when you look at the women on their feet all day long, from early morning till 5:45 at night, they didn't go on very long then, because it was lighting for a start.
Yes.
They've had enough by the end of the day, them women.
Yeah.
Because they follow their machines up and down, they were on their feet falling up and down all day long.
So you get worn out.
Yeah, there was no light work in the cloth mill.
What about meals?
Well, they went home to dinner.
Yeah.
They went home
at 1 o'clock?
Yeah. I went home about 1.
Yeah.
Back again about 1:30.
Did the whole place close down for half an hour, or did they take it in turns?
Well, it used to close them for dinner.
I
They went
see.
out and had
The
dinner.
whole mill shut down
Yeah.
for half an hour, then they came back.
Yeah. A lot of them used to eat their meals on the shop floor. There was no canteen.
They took sandwiches then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course they'd have to eat their sandwiches, and as soon as it was time to start, they started.
Yeah. What, the hooter went again?
Yeah. And you started then.
Yeah. So the ones that went home were the ones that lived nearby?
Yeah, they only lived around the corner.
Well, your mother had been all right?
Yeah.
When you lived in
Back Street, yeah.
you were
And of course, a lot of them used to live in the Cunninger.
Yeah.
And of course, McKay's a lot of them used to live on Ashton Street, like close to the factory, see.
Yes.
If you notice, all the buildings were built around the factory.
Yes,
you see.
yes.
Like Bond Street up there, that wasn't far from the Clarks, you see.
So that probably decided which factory you tried to get a job
Yeah.
at?
You got in the factory closest to your home, really.
How did you get a job? Did you just apply to the factory, or did you go to a labour exchange, or what did you do?
Well, some came from labour exchange, but I was word of mouth. My mother worked all the time, and she asked the foreman for me a job, and he said, yes, tell him, send him on down.
Yeah, yeah. Ah. Yeah. What about, I've got the news here, what works outings? Were there any, well, you mentioned the summer do at Troll Manor. Is it Troll Manor or the?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what his house was called. I can't remember.
Was it Troll anyway?
Up on Troll Common it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Onto the Westwood Road, yeah.
Were there any other communal sort of holidays or anything?
Well, not really. You know, they used to always have a Pharaoh do carnival time. The cloth mills, you know, the women did, cause they get together and do things, you know. But I mean, they had a week off in the summer, and there wasn't fortnight holiday with pay in them days. It was a week off like that, and there wasn't so much holidays about then them days. This all come about after the war, really.
Yeah.
But they would, well, outings, what they call an outing is going on a train ride to Weymouth or something like that.
Yes.
I mean, there were shower bags around you. They went on.
But was that done often? I mean, did Kemp and Hewitt often, or the workers often get together?
No.
That was just individual?
I never seen it. It's only individual people.
Individual initiative, yeah. Was there a club? Was there any sort of social life?
No.
Nothing?
There was no clubs in them.
No canteen? No room where you could all meet?
No canteen in them days. Not in the cloth mill. You went by your work and you hung your coat up by the side of your bench or wherever you worked. You went up there and your sandwiches was there. You might make a cup of tea, go down and make a cup of tea, but...
Where'd you make that?
Well, you had to go downstairs away from the stuff there. You weren't allowed to have any flames up in there. So you went down the bottom and made a cup of tea and brought it up in the old tin thing, brought up and a cup of tea. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it at Kemp and Mill? I mean, how did you?
It was enjoyable to learn it in them days, you know. But it was in my blood, Steve, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, Mother was there all that time. I mean, you went in a house in Trowbridge, and you always knew whether they worked in the cloth mill. You had always had a ball of cotton string there. What used to run the spindles on the spinning jennies. Yeah. You always had a ball of cotton string.
Why was that?
Eh?
Why was that?
Well, useful at home, isn't it? For that, you see. When we made bows and arrows as kids, we always had cotton string.
I see.
Make the bows and arrows.
Just to use as string?
Yeah, Mother used to bring a ball home for us. Yeah. Because they used to use it by balls and balls of cotton string. Yeah. Because they used to make, I used to drive, the spindles. And they'd tie them together and run them like that. So. All the time I was in there, I never learned to tie a knot. Not on the spinning. Never learned it. My mother and sister could tie them when they were running. And just tie them together like that. They go all the way along. Well, they don't tie them when they're stopped. They tie them when they're running. They put them around when they start, and any break they tie them when they're running.
So they got to be quick.
They had to be quick nowadays. Yeah. The women were on their feet all day long. They wore their old pennies and everything. And you never got no protective clothing in them days. Yeah. You bought your
What
own.
was the atmosphere? Were they cheerful or were they miserable?
Oh, they were always singing.
Singing?
Oh, yeah. They were always singing in the women, you hear the women singing up the top, down below, and keeping tune with one another. Yeah. They were always happy in there.
Is this before the war? I mean, there was music while you worked during the war, wasn't there?
Yeah, music while you worked during the war.
Yeah, but did they sing before the war as well?
Yes, they sing at the top of their voice, the women. Well, when you consider if they didn't want a machine, it was a lonely job. Yeah. Because you couldn't leave it. Yeah. So it was to sing their blooming head off. Yeah. You see? And they'd sing in the weaving sheds, but they couldn't hear themselves talking. Yeah. They couldn't hear it. Yeah. I mean, because people that worked in the weaving sheds, they always learned to lip read. Because they talked to each other, but you couldn't hear each other. They'd see them there, and they'd talk, and they'd lip read there. My mother used to be able to lip read, and my cousins were able to lip read and all that. They could lip read there. It's experience there.
Sounds fun. Pity we haven't got a record of them singing. Yeah. That would be quite something.
In the weaving sheds, they used to start off, youngsters go in there, go quilly winding. Yeah. That's winding the quills, ready to go on to into the shuttles. They do the quilly winding and take it across to the weavers. Then as they come up, then they learn to weave. Then they go on to the
So everyone learned their job from somebody who did the job before them.
Yes, yeah. It's like when you, as I say, I was on cars and engine cleaning.
Yeah.
That was more or less like an engineer's job. So.
Yes.
But the girls that came in there, they went onto the feeder machines, on these carding machines.
Yes.
They went on the feeder machines
Yes.
and they weighed the cloth and put it on so that it'd be the right,
Yeah.
mixture and everything. And then they would walk across and see the women spinning.
Yeah.
And they would, when their engines were stopped, they'd go and help them with the spinning, and they would pick that up.
Yes.
And they'd learn to tie a knot.
Yes.
As soon as they learned to tie a knot and they could do that, and they wanted a spinner, they'd turn them over to them spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a different pay for the different
Oh yeah.
jobs.
You got more pay for spinning.
Yeah, that was a more skilled job.
Yeah, it was more of a skilled
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You got more pay for that,
Yes.
and you got more pay for weaving, because you got
Can you remember the sort of about how much or was that?
Well, you see, the pay on spinning
Mm.
and the pay on weaving was piecework.
Yeah.
They used to call them piecers.
Mm.
That was the name they give them on spin. They're piecing.
Mm.
And what they would do, after they would be given a number, and that was a number of that cloth that was going to be made.
Mm.
And that number would follow it through all the way through its life till it was woven. And they would spin that and take them off and put them in the baskets.
Mm.
And it went from there to the warping shed or to the weaving shed then.
Mm.
And they would be weighed, that basket would be weighed. And that woman would be paid at the end of the day for what she'd done.
Mm.
She wasn't paid a wage that she was paid for what she'd done.
Mm.
I mean, if it was shut down for a week, she got day work pay.
Mm.
That wasn't very much then.
Mm.
And then the women on the feeder machines, they got paid just for day work pay.
Mm.
So their ambition was to get...
To become a spinner or one of the more skilled jobs.
Well, they'd become a spinner, and they used to call them piecers, because they were on piecework.
Piecing, yeah.
That's where the name came up, piecers,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
piecework. So
But you were on a regular weekly
oh yeah,
wage.
you were on a regular wage I was on, yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a lot for men in them days.
How did your wage compare with the wage of these women that were doing these jobs?
Well,
Can you remember?
I think, as you know, before the war, men were always paid more than women.
Yes.
Even if women done the same job, they were paid
Yeah.
less. So I suppose my wage would come up comparable to a woman in the spinning, you know.
Yes.
It would come up comparable to that, because we'd repair the machines and that.
Yes.
But a lot of these women could repair their own machines.
Yeah.
I mean, they put their own cotton string on the ties and that.
Why did they do that? So they could increase their output.
Oh yeah, they'd send for a bloke to come and repair it. If you didn't come up and repair it, yeah, they could repair it. They'd do it and they'd get
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
Because they didn't want their machines shut down.
No.
I mean, the longer it was shut down, they were losing money.
Yes. Yes.
And they were very resilient, them good women.
Yeah. But they kept cheerful.
Yeah, always kept cheerful.
Yeah.
I've never seen a miserable one in the cloth mill. They were always cheerful.
Yeah. Surprising, isn't it,
Yeah.
really?
Work hard as that, and they'd
Yeah.
sing top of their
Yeah.
lungs.
Yeah.
My mother was one for singing.
Yeah.
They all know it. Oh, Kemp Hewitt, she was one for singing there.
Was there was a trade union or anything like that there?
No,
No such thing as a trade union.
No.
I mean, is it that people wanted to, or it just didn't arise, or what?
Well,
Or did he not allow it?
I think why there was no trade union there at the time, because you were paid for what you'd done.
Yes.
It was piecework. You
Mm.
see, like, and the weaving and the spinning was piecework.
Mm.
So you were paid for the work you'd done.
Mm.
And they come to an agreement on how much they paid on that cloth.
Mm.
And then they pay you for the weight of it, you see, like,
Yeah.
mostly done by weights.
Yeah.
Like the spinning, they were paid by weights. Like, my mother was on tennis cloth for as I say, for molten.
Mm.
She'd put that on a spinning machine, and she'd get a number of that come off twice a day, where it would spin so quickly, because it's very thick.
Mm.
And she had to work her own hours off for that.
Mm.
So she had a bit more money for that, you see.
Mm.
She liked doing tennis because she'd get more off, more weight.
Yeah.
But man, they had to work.
Yeah.
They didn't put on much weight in a cloth mill, I can tell you that.
Mm. Mm. Sounds a hard life to me.
They'd never do it today like they
Yeah.
did it then.
Yeah.
I mean, today, if you had it there now, you'd have one woman on one mill.
Yeah.
And even in the weaving sheds, you had one woman running two weaving machines.
Mm.
Them days. I've seen women run the spinner and the feeding on the engines,
Mm.
run both of it.
Mm.
But you wouldn't get it a day because health and safety would be against it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really worked. They did those
Were
women.
there many accidents?
There were accidents, but
Mm.
I think it was caused by the mill owners because there was no safety conscious then.
Mm.
I mean, I went round a flywheel.
Really?
I got the scars today, look, on there.
What
See?
happened?
I was putting what you call rubber rope on behind the flywheel.
Yes.
I had to put my arm through the strap,
Yes.
and the tie straps on the belt caught me arm and spun me around the fire, shot me up in there, flung me over. I was lucky, mine, because one bloke was down below, caught his arm the same way, he was killed. I was head bashed in against the ceiling.
You were knocked right over?
Yeah. I was turned over and flung out a window, like that.
Yeah.
I hit the windows out.
Yeah.
I was took to the hospital. The only thing that was in my hand, luckily I was young.
Yeah.
I was young then.
But you had to have stitches, did you?
Yeah, I had to have, well, I put clips in.
Yeah.
I had, let's see my fingers at this day, though, I can't straighten it back.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yes, see?
Now, if that had been the day, I'd have got damages for that.
Yeah.
But I never in them days.
Did you ask for damages? Did you ask for anything?
They paid me wages all the time I was ill.
I see.
Because by that, see, they got out of paying damages.
Yeah. Which hospital did you go to?
Trowbridge Hospital.
Yeah.
Didn't take us to bath there. I mean,
Who took you? Did you go in? I mean, did you have an ambulance or did a friend take you or what?
walk up there.
You
It
walked?
was a friend, yeah.
So you weren't
I was always
were good
joking,
enough to
mind.
walk.
I was pretty groggy, mind,
Yeah.
but then again.
You were helped?
But see, in them days, as I say, there was no union.
Yeah.
If there'd been union there, I would have had damages for that.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them with that injuries in the cloth mill, they
It
never
won't go
had.
straight, will it?
No.
It won't line up with the other fingers.
I could push it there, but it won't
Yeah.
line up.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of women.
That must have damaged a muscle or something.
Yeah, sinews.
Tendon.
Sinews. Then.
Yeah.
But a lot of women had accidents there, like their arms crushed, caught in the wire.
Yes.
Terrible accident.
Yes.
But, I mean, that's scarred for life.
Hmm.
But I don't think they ever got any damages. Hardly any got it.
It was just accepted as a
As a
act of God, as it were.
what the factory usually does, if they were out ill, they paid their wages up till they come back.
Yes.
And they always had a job, you see.
Yes.
If they said they were one employer because you weren't fit to work, of course they could have claimed off the damages then, couldn't they?
Yes.
But then you had to pay a solicitor. There was no union, you had to pay a solicitor yourself.
Yes.
And most of the solicitors in the town was employed by the cloth mills.
Yeah.
So they weren't going to fight against their own, were they?
Hmm. So not many people got any compensation
No,
when they were injured?
No. I mean, Larry Sarton was killed in Kemp Hewitt, so I don't know why his wife ever got any of that. There were people killed in the cloth mills.
Many?
Well, you'd hear every couple of years somebody get killed in there by going around the machine or something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, most of it was, they caught their arms in the belts, that was the
Yes.
thing. Because
Yes.
the belts were unprotected.
Yes.
They just ran round, the girls walked by them.
Yes.
Well, and what they used to do, see, girls used to have long hair, didn't they, before the last war?
Yeah.
But if they went in the